don't know who as athletic director. Ed is one of my favorite players of all time. Just an amazing athlete. I just don't understand how he could work as FAMU's coach. From your list, if I had to, and it's just me, my personal opinion, none of the organizations I work for, this is just me.
Right.
I really, really like Dr. Alvin Parker because he's an old school coach. And is not a flashy guy, and FAMU would remain the brand if he was the coach.
Is he Florida enough though?
Well, if he came, he'd have to be smart. He'd have to be smart enough to surround himself with the people that would allow him to get that South Florida talent. Because you're not going to get it if you don't have somebody that's from there. You're just not going to get it.
I think one of the biggest problems too with HBCU hiring coaches is they don't plan right. They don't plan. It's just all of a sudden, and they don't talk about what's our short list, what's our long list. You know what I mean? You got to be in front of this thing instead of just showing up. Boom. We're like, well, then what we want? Who are we? What we need? Do we want an offensive guy? Do we want a defensive guy? And of course, when we talk about blueberries, and I know Coach Bishop, he always, talk about, which is important. Florida A&M is a bluebird. We ain't no different than Alabama, the LSU. We go. Who's the winningest coach? We just put on our little text about all the coaches who have came up under Nick Saban. They all ranked in the first, second, third, fourth, fifth. We don't do that in our HBCU schools, man. We don't hire qualified guys that can come in and know what to expect. And that's why back in the day, that's why the competition when we were in school, it wasn't nobody just running over nobody. It was great players and great teams, all through the conference.
Coach Cole, I got a great answer for you, and I'm sure you're going to appreciate this. And yes, I said it. I'm saying it on the show right now on national broadcast. One problem several HBCUs have is the president don't want the head coach to be more popular than them.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, I said it. It's rampant, man. It's almost like, it's almost like they don't want to be upstaged by the football coach. Well, guess what? At Colorado, they just elevated that AD that brought Deion in there, and you barely see him because he brought Deion in there to do what he does and sits in the back and reap the benefits of it. But so many of our presidents at our HBCUs do not want a coach coming there upstaging them. And it's the schools where the president works together and understand that in HBCU land that are successful. Time after time again.
Hey, Vaughn, let me ask you this. You talked about coaches with a resume. And Coach Cole talked about this. But what about coaches that you see has something in them? So, the AD, Ashley Robinson, saw Willie and brought him in, made him the first-time head coach. What about a coach like a Terenzo Quinn that you see the way he runs the defense, the way the players respond, the way he recruits? Is that something that, again, that family should be looking at, or even, like I said, which would be a first-time head coach? Should we also look at maybe extraordinary, coordinators also potentially, like a Terenzo Quinn at Jackson State?
I think the patience of FAMU waiting for something to build happened with Cozy. I don't think they'll wait again. I'm just saying. So yeah, you're in an unfortunate situation where you need a proven in there. Cozy would have been the opportunity to try somebody else in that situation. I think now the luster of the Celebration Bowl has worn off, and we're feeling like plain old FAMU as opposed to blue blood FAMU, like Coach said. And FAMU needs to feel like blue blood FAMU in order to get the alumni. I'm on the front lines of trying to raise money. As the season tanked, it got more difficult. It's a correlation. It's a correlation. I mean, just looking at the numbers, looking at the wins, looking at the losses, looking at the numbers, they correlate directly.
Hey, Vaughn, let me ask you just one thing, and then I'm going to let these guys get back at it, because you just made me think about something. You saw Tremaine Jackson. Mm-hmm. Hey, Prairie View, I think had the same record we had last year, 5-7, something like that. He comes and flips, not in the Celebration Bowl. You see, and we were in the MEAC, so you understand the Cellar Dweller, Delaware State, Deshaun Jackson. How much do you think the FAMU people are seeing that and saying, we need to have that immediately? Do you think there will be some patience? Because I will say this, I think because of the portal and the right coach, I think we could be right back at it immediately. But will we have that patience and not look at Prairie View and say, hey, they went to the Celebration Bowl or Deshaun Jackson beat North Carolina Central? Hold on, let him answer that, Coach. Go ahead.
Literally 2 plays and FAMU has a winning season. The big third down they gave up against Howard in game 1 to let them drive all the way down the field and get the field goal range. It was like 3rd and 20 maybe. And then, of course, the play against Bethune-Cookman. A winning record is much different than a losing record. It's so different. It's so absolutely mentally different that people might have said, okay, he's building. It's a step better than last year. But the way that it ended and the digression over the last few games, and then losing the Valley twice doesn't help. 2 of their 3 wins over the last 2 years came against FAMU. That doesn't help anything.
You know, Vaughn, I think in 2019, you guys did something, or was it 18? I can't remember. You guys did something where you guys went out and just took a little school in Texas's coach that happened to be from Quincy, Florida. Mm-hmm. Would y'all consider doing that again to a little old school down in Texas and just taking their coach?
Listen, it's FAMU first. So, you know, if you can't keep him and he's available and he's going to sign and we need him, then it's your job to keep him. You know, if we go after him, I mean, that's the nature of the business. I hate to be that cruel and blunt, but I mean,
it's something that the Rattlers could be happy with. And could the Rattlers get on board with that is what I'm asking.
Man, they want to win. They want to win.
Now y'all ain't gonna go into January and February before y'all find a coach, are you?
No, Coach, because listen, that transfer portal is January 2nd through the 16th. You got the reason that Lane Kiffin was brought on over to LSU. You can't miss that opportunity. At no level can you miss that opportunity. Because in order for them to be eligible to play for the fall, they have to sign between January 2nd and 16th. There's no second period like it's been in the past.
Yeah.
So you got to have somebody in place.
But here's y'all dilemma. Y'all gonna hire a football coach and ain't really put a AD in place. But I understand that he's coming in January, so he's gonna be hard before the AD is hard. That's already right there turmoil. So you guys are in a pickle, and I get it. You know, you want a head coach in there and get it going, but that athletic director, if they bumping heads, we're gonna be right back here in about another year, 2 seasons.
Hey, Vaughn, let me answer that.
And you just described FAMU. You just described the roller coaster at FAMU. Yeah. Things have not been lined up to where they need to connect. Coach, you just described. Yeah. Rocky, there's your answer. You asked about FAMU. He just described it right there. It just hasn't lined up right. It just has not.
Yeah, y'all are not aligned from top to bottom, and it's tough.
And it takes all of that to win a championship. It takes every bit of that to win a championship.
Yes.
Yeah.
If that head coach is not getting along, it's gonna be some problems.
I'm gonna say this though, I can confidently say this. He's not out there on the island. He's just gonna walk in and like, oh, who's the coach? I can feel comfortable to know that he will know who the coach is and probably had some discussion. So,
Yeah.
I think I don't think it's going to be as bad as because Vaughn, and you know this because you're on social media, you see a thing. Everybody, and I want to say this: the reason why people are always amazed how we endure, because FAMU Foundation is always strong.
But he may be pissed off, y'all, because y'all fired his teammate.
Well, listen, I tell you what, if he came from that bottom bound area, he would have fired him too, because they never lost over 2 games when he played. So how about that? So
all I know is this: being in this business, if that AD and that head football coach ain't on the same page, it's gonna be some friction. It's gonna be some problems, I've been in those situations everywhere I've been. We've came in on top of an AD, won championships, gone. Came in on top of an AD or behind the AD or in front of the AD, gone. It just happens.
Hey, Coach, that's another description of FAMU. Coach, why do y'all need me on here when Coach Cole is calling? He's describing FAMU to a T over the last several years. So the answer to all the questions is just what he said. FAMU has just not been aligned with everything. It just so happened during the period where Coach Simmons was winning, he forced the alignment. He forced the alignment by winning. It was like, oh, he keeps getting better. We gotta follow his lead. So,
and as soon as the AD came in, they didn't hire him. It all fell apart.
Just what Coach just said.
Because that's one thing I was telling Bishop, and Bishop agreed with me about black college coaches. And do we aspire? And I know Simmons was aspiring to go Power 5, but if y'all would have put some down like a 4-year, 10-year deal, or 4-year, 7-year deal where he's got some security, he might have been on it. You know what I mean? That, I know I'm gonna be here for the next 7 years, because football coaches know it ain't no more Eddie Robinson and W.C. Gordons and Rudy Hubbards. It ain't no more of them. So, but if I can get a long contract, shit, he might have would have stayed.
Well, if he could have got any contract, he and his agent went into FAMU. He and his agent went and tried to negotiate with the athletic director for a long-term contract, and it didn't happen. So at that point, you got to say, wow. And this was in the October of the year that he won the championship.
Did she hire him?
No. You go back to your own statement, Coach. You said it earlier. You get a coach come in, and then you get an AD come in after it, and that AD didn't hire him. Then it's problems. There's no sync. So
let's say this one thing too, because that came out, and it was reported, and it was fact. It wasn't no rumor. We know that was a fact. And after that came out, mind you, and Bill knows this because he was instantly talking to people, things like that. When we found that out, when people turned around and now she makes the call to Curtis, to the alumni, we need money for $250,000 was raised in 48 hours.
Right.
In 48 hours. When this could have been raised
$1 million in another year.
Could have, to your point, Vaughn, could have prevented all this. And after that was found out, that was dead man walking after that, no matter what.
Yeah. But because I think he had already given up on. To win a championship, you need everything in alignment, and he did not feel he was going to have alignment in that position. And he just said, you know what? I would rather walk out on top than to struggle fighting internally to try to get what I need to win, because it's not easy. So I really think that was the decision more than wanting to go Power 5 right then.
I've
Who's
observed
on the committee? Can I get on y'all committee? I think I pick y'all a good head coach.
No committee this time, Coach.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
Well, Coach, let me tell you who was on the committee to pick Willie Simmons. John Eason. John Eason said, I'm going to go find a coach. He told President, I'm not doing the committee. And he got the deal done in like a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Guess who was on the committee? Guess who was on the committee to select Tremaine Jackson?
Yeah.
And Golf.
Yeah.
He said he responded. I asked him a question. I say, who will be making the decision I sent him an email. Who be making the decision? He picked up the phone and called me. He said, "I'll be making the decision. I'll be selecting the head coach." He didn't mince words about it. He didn't. Yeah. And he said, he also said with the support of the president, of course.
Yeah. But if you got some, John Eason coached 20-something years under Bobby Bowden at Florida State, even though he played at FAM and he went pro from FAM. His coaching career was with Bobby Bowden. So he understood championships, and he was not going to let people who knew less football than him influence his choice. And he was correct. He brought in the right guy, and I'm telling you, everything was done in a week and a half. And Simmons was on campus in 2 weeks.
That's a great point. AD that is an administrator, why doesn't he bring a council of coaches in and use those guys as a means of vetting those? Because I'm telling you, I'm gonna be me and Coach Cole and Mr. Campbell have private conversation, and I'm telling you, within the last 3 years we've been doing this show, Coach Cole ain't missed on a coach yet. When he say they gonna win, right? Mm-hmm. They gonna win. Mm-hmm. How did he know that? I don't know. But when Tremaine was hired, he said he's gonna win. Even when Mickey was hired, he said Mickey's gonna win. You know,
he knows what good coaching looks like. He knows what good coaching looks like, and he knows the mentality. And I guess he just takes a general assessment of would the university have what that person needs support-wise to get it done. But yeah.
Can I tell y'all something?
And it must admit,
y'all don't go buy a championship coach. Go get somebody's coach that's a champion. We're going to be right back here in about 2 years. Because whoever this AD you have, that guy's got to be able to come in with ready to go. Florida A&M ain't Pine Bluff. Florida A&M ain't Prairie View. It ain't Texas Southern.
What kind of contract are y'all willing to offer the next coach? That's another question. Like, what kind of commitment are y'all willing to make? You know, you say you want a guy who already has a job, whether it be Quinn Gray or some other guys. If a guy already got a job, what will make him? What kind of commitment can you guys offer to make him want to move, make the jump to FAMU?
Well, I will say this. This president and administration have found money for what they want. And so I think for what it takes, you know, Willie Simmons had a contract. I don't think FAMU has ever offered a 5-year contract. $300,000 a year, 5 years, $1.5 million for the life of the contract. FAMU has never offered that. And so, of course, with bonuses for championships and those sorts of things, that was outside of the box for FAMU, specifically for the length of the contract. I don't.
Well spent.
But I don't think Coach Cozy came in because he didn't have as much experience. And if I'm correct, he was around 240, Steve.
Yeah.
He was around 240 with maybe a $10,000 a year raise or something to that effect. I'd have to look back over his contract. So I think a coach coming in with the right pedigree could get back up to the 300,000 and then possibly beyond in future years with incentives.
Well, y'all don't have to pay $50,000. Just send me a plane ticket and let me stay in the Embassy Suite in Tallahassee.
We might have to take you up on that, Cole.
Hey, I'll help you out. Look, I might bring the guy with me.
Oh my God!
Hey! You'll pull a Eddie Robinson Jr. being the chairman of the hire committee and hire yourself. How about that? That was a pretty good hire, wasn't it?
Hey, look, Marino Cassim did it back in Southern. He got in there from Alcorn as the AD. 2 years later, he was the head coach.
Oh God!
Yeah, but hey, look, man, we had championship weekend. Campbell, you lead this one.
Yeah, Vaughn, before we let you get up out of here, you know, and you do such great work. You got to check Vaughn on HBCU Game Day. Amazing, hard-hitting, well-written articles because he's a Florida A&M Rattler. We can't let you go without you giving us a quick breakdown of the game and who you think going to win.
Man, I think this is going to be a brawl in the trenches because he has the experience of being there before and that disappointment of not taking home that trophy. I give a slight edge to Chennis Berry in South Carolina State.
Wow.
Okay.
Chennis Berry. I like that.
Okay.
I like it.
That's the MEAC fam you talking.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm expecting a great game. I can't wait. I'm going to have my popcorn and I'm going to sit back. HBCU Game Day is based in Atlanta, so I don't have to go. It's enough staff up there. I can sit at home and watch it. Don't have to run up and down the sidelines. You know, it's going to be hard for me to go to Celebration Bowl and experience a moment bigger than Travis Hunter catching that touchdown.
Wow.
To go into over 8 feet in front of me. Because, you know, that's the back wall on that end of the end zone is literally 8 feet from the goal line. So we're back up against the wall, and I see that joker go up and catch that ball, and I was like, how the heck did he bring that ball down? So it's going to be hard for a moment to surpass that for me, being 8 minutes of 8 yards away from glory. But the Celebration Bowl, and if I can, one quick second, the Celebration Bowl, yes, it's the championship, but it really is an HBCU reunion, big time. You see every school's attire there. It's a great time. It's a great platform set up for us. It's our championship. So I just want to encourage anybody that has the ability to get to Atlanta to please go. I've only missed one, and like I said, this one, the schedule has just been rampant on me because I've had to run and cover Edward Waters, FAMU, and Albany State are my region. I've been running. So I finally get a break. Old man finally gets a break and able to kick back and watch it on the big screen. I'm expecting a great game. Congratulations to Tremaine and what he's done at Prairie View. Congratulations to Chennis Berry for keeping that Buddy Pugh reputation going. I'm looking for a great HBCU game. And, of course, I can pull for the Rattlers because the Battle of the Bands. I will be pulling for Olua Madupe Oloyede. That is the woman head drum major at FAMU. She is an amazing young lady. So it's just a lot of blackness and greatness in Atlanta this weekend.
Yeah. Thank you for coming on. And
my pleasure.
I'll spank Rocky for being so tough, but
no,
hey, you open up Pandora's box. So, and we get all this greatness from Bishop about Florida A&M. So I think we answered it.
We don't tell one thing about our school. We don't duck no smoke because we in the sunshine.
No, right there. Hey man, I want to appreciate you all for being consistent and doing a great job with the HBCU Coaches Corner. Anybody will tell you I'm honored anytime I'm asked to come on the show, man. We have to keep this. We're not competitors. We're compadres.
Absolutely.
We all are. We all have a goal of uplifting our HBCUs. Nobody else is going to do it. We have to do it. So, right. I mean, with your expertise, with the way that you all research the topics you discuss, that's important. We have to keep us in the front. We have to encourage us. So I just want to encourage y'all to keep doing what you're doing. I'm a fan. It was an honor to be on with y'all today.
Hey, thank you, Ron. We appreciate it.
Florida A&M Hall of Fame, and I'm gonna say one thing. Hold on, Rocky. When does the 220 Club come back? When do you guys come back?
We come back in January.
So I'm asking all the HBCU Coaches Corner to donate to the 220 Quarterback Club and support what they're doing because
no donation too small.
There you go. We take it all.
Hey, keep the articles coming. You write so well. I'm surprised you're a football player. You understand what I'm talking about.
All right,
all right.
Woo!
Hey, how did that go, Campbell?
Listen, I wanted to get it all out. Now y'all know why Coach got hired, why he got fired, who the people on the table. So you don't text me no more. You heard it from the man that's down there every day. So he gave you all the names and who he likes.
In the belly of the beast.
There you go. That's Vaughn Wilson, man. That's my big brother right there. No doubt about it.
He works with HBCU
Game Day.
Game Day?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
does great work.
He's the primary Rattler correspondent, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, like I say, he has that whole southern region, but when there's a hot topic, he's going to write about it. He is going to write about it.
Hey, y'all keeping him in business. I'll say that.
Absolutely.
he ain't running out of material. For sure. Hey, man, but we had a big game this past week, guys.
Yes. Any questions? Anybody want to call in? Got to say something about what happened this past week.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the link. I'm gonna let everybody just jump on if they want to jump on. I'll send them I'll put the link in the bam. All right. There's the link right there. If you want to jump on, you got something to say about the game. Mr. Campbell, it was one hell of a game this weekend. Coming from a school that once won the SWAC championship here recently, what does this game mean to a program?
Well, I want to say something because I heard a lot of people say this, and I think the terminology I heard, and this is my opinion, and other people have, that Prairie View out-coached Jackson State. I'm going to say Prairie View coached better than Jackson State because when it was time to make certain calls, because you saw Jackson State defense make a play, but Prairie View was just a little bit better. And the one thing that I got to give Tremaine Jackson, and I have seen a lot of people going to that vet, but when that defensive back rung that wide receiver's bell and they looked over that sideline, I knew they was into a street fight. And I think that was one of the things that Tremaine Jackson, coach, that he said, we're going to come in here, and as he said, we're going to be dogs. And I think that was setting the tone early in the game where you just saw that Prairie View was the hungrier, the harder fighting team. And I think it took Jackson State the second half to really understand that this wasn't going to be no walkover.
Hey, we got Al on. Al. Hey, we hear an echo, Al.
Oh, you're echo. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we hear you, buddy.
Okay, man. What's going on, Rocky? What's going on, Coach Cole? What's going on, Mr. Campbell?
Hey,
listen. Hey, that game, I got to give it to Coach Cole. He called it about Tremaine. But I want to ask you all about that defense and how they came up to play, man. That defense was unbelievable. Number 25, that free safety, man. But that defense, that joker in the middle. Who was the joker? That guy in the middle that they could not move. Which I take him, man.
He's a transfer from University of Memphis.
Man, I can see. I
seen him this summer.
Hey, Coach Cole, you called me from right there on the field, and you said, "Hey, man, these jokers look good, man." He said, "I don't know if they can play, but they looked the part." And so you were very impressed when you went down there and saw the entire operation.
But see, one of the things that nobody counted that he brought 12 Division II national championship players with him. You know what I'm saying? So these kids already knew the program, know what to expect, and they came in and they knew the offense and the defense, whatever side they played on. So that's a big win, for them. And then when you come in and take over the program and you're trying to establish the way things go, it's good to have players in that locker room to say, guys, you just got to believe, I'm telling you. Do what he say, man. And they gelled at the right time. And now that we don't let this monster get going downhill, it's just only going to get better. And that's what I keep on saying. I played in the SWAC. I've been around black college football. A program and a system is going to be talent every time. I still say, and we'll all say, Jackson State had more better talent if it went man for man. But when you look at Prairie View, and if you watch them play, man, they don't make mistakes. They don't make mistakes. If that quarterback was good. He threw what? 3 interceptions against Alabama State?
4.
4. He threw 4 interceptions against Alabama State. But up to that point, he only threw 2. And then after that, he didn't throw no more. So they not was a mistake team, but like you say, that defense is a new style. It's almost like too Kathy, back in the day, but it ain't too Kathy.
Man, listen.
It's a linebacker sitting back there, not a defensive back.
Okay, but that guy, man, he's rangy. He can get in the paint. He got that interception. Now, my question to you all, do y'all think he should have, man, I think he should have started Lockhart. People keep on saying Jacoby. I'm being honest with you. The Russ, a mobile quarterback. His style is to run, but he got in. And then you ask this freshman that you took off the bench that was cold, was he ready? I just think you should have played the hot guy. And the hot guy was the freshman. And I just think that Jackson could never get it. But as I say, that big joker, that number, that defensive tackle, man, if you look at the runs, go back and look at the run. Jackson could not run that ball at all. They started trying to do sweeps. They tried to start running on the side. They couldn't run in between the tackle at all. And that right there, and that safety who laid a hit on Rembrandt, I don't know if you saw that hit, but when I'm telling you that hit he laid on him, he ain't want no more parts of that. So I'm going to leave it at that, guys. Thanks again for letting me in. Rocky, love the show, man. Y'all guys be blessed.
Thank you.
All right, for sure, my brother. Hey, that was Al from Michigan. Hey, the crazy thing is that everybody was thinking that Jackson State would be able to run the ball with that 3-man line, coach. And you knew, because we had talked, you knew if they didn't know how to block it up, they were going to have problems with that defense.
The thing of it is people don't understand the dynamics of that defense. Linebackers sit at 5 where they supposed to. 3 down linemen that's going to play either outside the tackles or inside the tackles, kind of confuse the blocking scheme. But everybody always just look at the 3. But here's the issue. When those tackles give you a high hat, those outside linebackers are coming down the side. By the time that back gets the ball, you got 7 guys up at the line of scrimmage. And that kid that sits back in there in the middle of the 2 safeties, he's always unblocked. And so it makes it tough and it makes it tight. And you got to do some different things offensively to take away those weaknesses. And nobody hasn't filled it. They hadn't found where the weaknesses are or what to do because it's outside of what they do regularly. And you got to make that adjustment as an offense coordinator if you want to be in the mood of football.
It seemed like Jackson State chose to run the ball on first down quite a bit, and they ended up behind the sticks a lot. I think this is just my opinion. That's the flaw. Once you get behind the sticks and their beast defense has 5 DBs already on the floor, it makes passing the ball very difficult with in that nickel defense on 2nd and long and 3rd and long. So I just think overall if you're gonna have to pass on early downs, I think that's how you break down that defense. Coach Cole, what do you think? Do you think passing on early downs can kind of throw that defense out is a way to attack it?
Yeah, I mean, you could do 2 things to it. You could play action off of it because it's already a run stopping defense. All right. Number 2, you always got to have an assigned guy to block that middle linebacker. You also got to do some quarterback runs against that. Of course, we always talked about you got to be successful on first down. If you start hurting them with that 3-man front, they'll come out of that. And one thing that I ain't seen yet, nobody to go double tight. You know what I mean? You should be able to go double tight against that. And now they got it. When teams go double tight, the defense got to balance up, because if they don't balance up, then you outnumber them, especially on the interior. Now you get a whole bunch of double team blocks inside. So,
hey, Coach Fred, this is HBCU Coaches Corner. Anytime we get a coach on here, we got to bring you on the big screen, Coach.
Well, that's right. Coach Fred gonna hang out with us for a little bit. We had to bring them because see, this is the Coaches Corner, so we don't do no calling. We bring the coaches on stage to hang out with us for the rest of the show. Come on, Coach Fred.
Man, Coach, man, I appreciate y'all. Great show. I saw those gold records in the back, and I was like, "Who is this?" And behind the scene, like, Mr. Campbell, I see gold records back there. Ain't a lot of people got that in their background, and caught me up to speed. But again, great show, man, great content. The one thing I was disappointed in, now, Mr. Campbell, we ain't promote the show this weekend. Now
that's why I brought you up. No, that's why I brought you up. See, I got a method to my madness. I was gonna let you say your piece, and then I was gonna say, guess what? Coach Fred is gonna be with us on Friday. See, you stepped on the lead, Coach.
My bad.
On the lead. That's okay.
Let me back it up. So just to let y'all know, man, people are listening to what you guys have going on. The show we did during the game, I had a friend, I won't say his name because I didn't get permission, who was working in that game, called me yesterday and was like, "Hey, I don't know everybody else on there, but I want to make sure I get to you." He said they had 134, 138 rushing yards, PVU. 100 went to the quarterback. So everything else was 2-point whatever with the running backs. I was like, oh, okay. I see what you're saying. He said, and I'll admit, we didn't have an answer for that because they hadn't done it that way in a long time. Earlier in the season, Coach Jackson them did that. And he said, make sure the people you went on with, they go back and look at the numbers outside of the quarterback. Everybody else was shut down.
Oh, the running backs didn't do anything. The running backs didn't do anything. But that's why the running by the quarterback, using the quarterback to sustain drives was so key. To bring that wrinkle into that game or save that wrinkle for that game was key.
But Coach Fred, let me ask you a question before you do that. Let me say this. When we were here, what did I say with all you coaches? I said, Cam Peters is going to have an all SWAC game. Him.
And I told that.
And no, he just need a player's game. I said, absolutely not. He is going to, and that was part of what I was talking about. But go ahead, Coach Fred. I just want to let people know when we looked at that, that's what I thought was going to be one of the keys of the game. Because Jack State was not going to just let them run up and down the field.
And I told him that. And to Coach Cole's point, when you add an extra hat, which is what they did, they added an extra hat, which was the running back. Now the quarterback is carrying. Now you don't have that answer for that if you're not prepared for that deal, right? And then on top of that, I didn't realize PVU played offensively. They had over 80 plays.
Yeah.
You're talking about
84 plays.
You're talking about a defense that's been out there for a long time. And another point that we didn't bring up, I didn't catch it because it didn't seem that way, but Jackson went 4 series of 3 and out, less than 10 yards.
Wow.
4 series.
The first 3 series, they had 8 yards. God plays for 8 yards.
Rocky called that out. Rocky called that out the first part. But
Man.
guys, do you know where they got the offenses from? Why they ran the quarterback so much? Have y'all forgot? That's how Jackson State, they beat Deion Sanders them. North Carolina Central beat Deion them. Quarterback runs.
And the week before, we did the same thing with Jalen Tolbert.
Yeah, because Jackson State, because they blitz so much, they don't have a second level of tacklers. So when you get that extra blocker, that quarterback running free.
Yes. And when you sit down and you try to fix it up, Coach, you know this. When you sit down, you get everybody there on the bench and you're trying to fix the problem. Hey, what happened here? What happened? Punt. And you're like, what? I just got the whiteboard.
Well, Coach Fred, that's why I asked very early in the game, Coach, when you prepare 2 weeks and and at the time I asked y'all the question is, I said, hey, they done ran 6 plays in the game 4 yards. Do you start questioning your plan at that point? You understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying you have to change everything, but something has to be, to run 6 plays in game 4 yards, something ain't quite right, or something is going wrong.
At that point, you're the plan B. And now you're trying to get your checks in line, but everything is going so fast. And luckily, it was kind of back and forth, but then you add in the special teams part of it, and you guys go back and look at it. Jackson was bringing a lot of those balls out of the end zone and starting less than favorable position, field position offensively. And, with the new rules, if you're not 0 and you're catching that ball in the end zone or on the 5, fair catch it, you get it at no worse than the 25-yard line, right? A lot of times, going back and looking at that game myself after I talked to my friend, they were starting inside the 20. Inside the 20. So that's tough. So he wanted me to make sure that I let the panel know that they didn't get manhandled and just moved. Yeah, it was just
no. If you look at their yards per play, that's very respectable, Coach. But just think about how many teams across the country can run 84 plays and have, I think it was literally 4 penalties that they had, offensive penalties that they had. That's a lot of plays, and a lot of teams aren't disciplined enough to sustain drives like that, to be honest with you.
That's tough. And
if they make any other school other than Prairie View drives the ball 8, 9, 10 plays every time, somebody's going to have a holding, somebody's going to have a offsides, you understand what somebody's going to have a chop block. There's something that's going to happen to set that offense back. And Prairie View, for whatever reason, they didn't have those kind of negative plays,
Now, Fred, my man has said because the quarterback rushed 100 yards, that ain't domination. No, is he not back there to move the ball, to get first downs? That's what a quarterback should. If it ain't there, get out and get your 3 yards.
I think he's saying it's a schematic thing rather than them manhandling them. Is that what you're saying, Fred?
Yeah, that part.
I differ from that. 42 plays, that means you were getting 10 plays a quarter. You only made 2 first downs, one in the first half and one in the second half. Coach, man, you didn't rush the ball 100 yards. You only rushed it 80 sometimes yourself. 80 yards. I just, like you said, every time they got the ball back in the 20, they wouldn't go. In the first half, they went across the 50-yard line maybe twice.
Once.
And one time, I felt the reverse play. Should have went with the reverse play, where he had the quarterback run and he tried to reverse it. And then when he went for it on that 4th down, if you take them 2 plays off, I don't think they might have passed the 50.
Well,
but one drive.
Anytime you turn a team over 3 times in any game, you're supposed to win that game, right? And they over 3 times. But again, that was a great championship game. That's what it should have been. Yeah. I want to flip back to, when you talk about them Florida boys there, Mr. Campbell, and understanding what that recruiting ground looks like, for the highest of the 7 hills, you get back to that. I think it's an easy fix in this day and age when we're talking college football. But, hats off. I wanted to make sure I came on because I didn't hear Mr. Campbell promoting what we're doing.
Well, let's talk about that. Hey, this Friday, 8 to 10, we know all you people are coming in for the Celebration Bowl. We want you to join us at the Embassy Suites in Buckhead, Peachtree Road. Hey, man, listen, come early, have dinner at Roof Chris Steakhouse, have a drink at the bar, and then come up to the loft area where we're going to have me, Coach Cole, Coach Fred, Rocky. Coach, who else who else is coming? Eugene is coming.
Melvin Spears, Eugene. We might even get to coaches Tremaine Jackson in them because they supposed to be having dinner at the Ruth Chris Steakhouse, unless it's another one in Atlanta somewhere. I think they're supposed to have it there in Buckhead. So I was told that by Trey Oliver, Coach Oliver.
Mr. Campbell, how many Ruth Chris in Atlanta? Because you frequent.
Well, they got one now. They might be the one downtown. It might be the one downtown.
Okay. You frequent. Well, I mean, you know, that's your kind of living. So I just thought maybe.
Hey man, listen. As they say, if we go to Ruth Chris, she's special. That's all I'm gonna say on that. If we go to Ruth Chris, she's special.
Hey, and there's only one side of the menu at Ruth's Chris.
And this is a family show, and we're going to just leave it at that. We're not going to tell that joke. We're not going to tell that joke.
Ain't a whole lot of Happy Meals on that menu. I'm just telling y'all.
Say it again. Where we going to be, Coach Bishop?
We're going to be at the Embassy Suites Buckhead on Peachtree Road, right in the heart of Buckhead, in the loft area. Come right upstairs the loft. You can't miss us. As soon as you come in the atrium, you go see us. You go rock it out, nice lights. We're going to have Coach Fred there. Like I say, Coach Cole, me, Rocky, Bruce Eugene. Other coaches, Melvin Spears. We're going to have some people that are fans that think they know the game is going to come talk to us. Scotty will probably be up in the house. Perry will probably be up in the house. Yeah. So we're going to have a lot of people, man. So a great.
And what time it start?
And from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern time.
I got you.
Now, Coach Fred, did you get any information on how Jacoby Morgan is doing? Because that kid went out on his shield. And I think people haven't talked enough about what he did on that day. Come out and play, obviously, you know, maybe a little under the weather or what have you, and for him to really get him back in the game when it looked like the game was fading away. And unfortunately, on that play that he got him back in the game, he got hurt. But do you have any information that you can share about, you know, how he's doing and No,
he didn't give me on that. He just said that, you know, when that happened, it took everything in those guys in the college shirt to get those kids that were still playing back in it mentally, because, you know, that kid had worked to get back since that injury, and they saw that and they really believe in that kid. So when that happened, you know, they really had to work to get the kids focused off of him going in the locker room and, you know, get back to the business at hand. So, you know, you got to tip your hat to them for that, because they could have lost it right there at that moment. But, you know, that staff pulled it all together and made it a competitive game, especially when you look at it. Like, you look at it and you look at the stats and you feel like, okay, they were probably dominated, but it was a 2-point game. 2-point game. And, you know, a play here or there, it could have went haywire for PV, a play here or there could have went haywire for Jackson. You know, to come back, get yourselves ready mentally, and still fight, and only have it be a 2-point game, man. You know, hats off to that staff and those kids for locking back in mentally after they lost their leader.
Yeah, that was tremendous. I thought, because when he limped off, you pretty much knew he wasn't coming back. Like, it wasn't a situation where could he get back to the game. If it was obvious to us on TV that he was done for the evening, I'm sure right there with him, they knew he was done for the evening too. And again, hats off to Jackson State and particularly Jacoby Morgan, because he went out on his shield, Coach. He went out on his shield. He went out swinging, and I think that's something that's worthy of being recognized.
No doubt. Before I leave, one more time, Mr. Campbell, what it is Friday?
Hey, Embassy Suites, Buckhead, 3285 Peachtree Road Northeast, in the loft area from 8 to 10. HBCU Coaches Corner live with the best coaches in the game. And I'll say this too, we got coaches, as Coach Cole say, that are looking for jobs. So all you ADs, come on, hang out with you. You're going to be in town. Come do some interviews right there. We're going to get you some good coaches, because if you ain't, my thing is this, if you are not, your team ain't in the game, you need to hire some better coaches anyway. So you need to go ahead and get these guys.
Hey, Coach, did you work with Quinn Gray at Alcorn?
I did.
Okay. All right.
What is 2 seasons, I think it was, the COVID year, which we didn't play, and the next season. So I worked with him, his DC, his co-DC, his D-line guy. We were all on that staff together. So I know those guys I don't know if y'all saw how they lost that game, man. Tremendous job they did, just to make it to that point. And, special teams play here or there, they're still playing, So, again, hats off to him and his staff. I think he won Coach of the Year for that conference. I think his DC is up for Assistant Coach of the Year. Africa-wise, AFCA Division II coach, Assistant Coach of the Year. So hats off to them, man. Those guys had a tremendous year. And, Quinn's a Florida boy, so I'm always rooting for him.
Coach, let me ask you a question. Now, you said something. See, now this is great. This HBCU Coaches Corner. You actually coach with Coach Quinn. Great. Mm-hmm. What do you think, if he would become the family coach, what do you think he brings to the table being a coach, since you've seen him up close early and now you've seen him matriculate and more experience and now being a head coach? What do you think he would bring to the table being a FAMU head coach?
I think you guys hit it earlier in the show. He's a FAMUan. That means a lot to him. Even though he was at Alcorn, he was still checking the score for FAM. He was still checking what they were doing. He's an offensive guy. He's a guy that, shed blood and tears up there on the hill. So he understands what it is to be successful there. He's got, I think he's still in the record books for some stuff, there at FAM. And again, like I said, it's a special pride when you're talking about going back to a place that you helped build. You laid some bricks there, you laid some foundation, and, he's still connected to it. It still means a lot to him. I don't care what anybody says. Any Saturday other than when they played each other, I'd be willing to bet any amount of money that he was checking that score to see what they did, just to make sure that the place that he helped build was still moving forward. So, to see him, I think what he would bring is an exciting brand of football offensively, tough-minded kids. He knows what it is to be in Tallahassee. He knows what it is to basically share campus with Florida State. So he understands what it takes to be a winner there, because he was a winner there. So I think, if he's the guy, the program will be in great hands.
Now, Coach,
you hire me as your, because I think I just, but anyway, that's a whole other.
Well, I can tell you, because I went back to my alma mater and took over as a head coach, and it's one of the greatest feelings ever. To go back to your alma mater and sit in that seat, and I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing for Florida A&M. You're gonna bring back alumni back. They're gonna be feeling better. They're gonna be able to put their hands on you. And if you can get that thing going, man, they'll take that, what you call that club, 220 club? Y'all talking about raising money. If he can get that thing going there and win it and being an alumnus, you talking about homecoming to be off the charts. The whole city, who followed Quinn when he was there as a quarterback in them days.
All the people,
man, all those guys have come back. You'll see players coming back from everywhere, man. And the thing that make that even successful is when you embrace them into the fold of your program. So, I think it's a win-win. He's a good coach. He's shown that he can turn programs around, and shit, man, I don't see nothing wrong with that take.
Hey, Coach Freddie, would you be willing to recruit Tampa? Coach Gray?
Man, if I could show you this phone right here with the DMs and hey, Coach, where you at? What's going on? Got some kids. We sure enough get it rocking. And Mr. Campbell, I think y'all do a thing called a strike tour in the summer.
We do.
Where the head coach goes and visits all those alumni chapters within the state to speak with, on what Coach Cole just said. It'd be standing room only, especially in South Florida, because that's where he's from. So, again, unless there's just something that I'm missing with a different candidate, I don't even know if he is a candidate, but, that would be something that would breathe, new life into the program. And then, since I'm a representative of Quinn, just have patience and understanding, where he's starting and getting behind it. And again, just having patience. I think Coach Cole spoke on that earlier in the show with him. I think
he's got to get good people around him, not his friends, not his teammates, He's got to go get good coaches. That's where you mess up at sometimes. You know,
but that's why you got to hold a call Coach Fred and get Bruce Eugene. And see, then we take that thing all the way from Atlanta all the way down to South Florida. And then we flip this thing really quick. Because Coach Fred, I'm trying to tell you, these folks wanted Cozy to stay as long as he could. But I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all already know we about to be right back rolling. Coach Fred, let me tell you something. I never seen so many other people root for a man to keep a job that didn't go to Florida A&M. But y'all already know what's about to happen. They know, Coach. They know it. We about to get back rolling. They know it.
Friday night, man. Y'all make sure y'all come check in with us. I think Mr. Campbell's buying French fries for everybody. 2 drinks on Mr. Campbell.
Hey, man, French fries and waters. I got you. Double shots of water.
They probably don't even have fries at Ruth Chris, man.
He bringing them in.
Chick-fil-A across the street.
Oh, okay.
So all y'all need to get something to eat that you can't afford, Ruth Chris. Just go on over there to Chick-fil-A. You can bring it on up there. They're not going to bother.
Come on back.
But Coach Fred, I appreciate you because, listen, and I'm just going to say this. Coach Fred is going to be one of our special contributors. We're always going to bring him on with something hot. I'm going to text him because you bring a lot to the show, and we really appreciate it. And I just think the more coaches that we bring on, and Coach Cole knows this, but we had such a great response of that round table and on the watch party because coaches were giving announcements. Coaches were letting people know. We got to keep that thing going.
Hey, Coach Fred, last thing. We may have to end up changing the name of the show to HBCU Championship Coaches Corner. You understand? If you get that's show them one more time, Coach.
You see, y'all don't know, cause see, Rocky, you were working. You know, did you see when he came with his Michael Jordan pose?
Yeah.
Michael Jordan, them folks.
Yeah, and that's important, man. Winners breed winners. That's all it is. That's all I'm saying, Coach. You're a winner. Coach Cole's a winner.
And what people got to understand, there's jobs for young coaches to come in as head coaches and learn. There's jobs for them. But when you're talking about, top football, we take football serious schools, that's what you got to do. You can't bring nobody in there that ain't got nothing in his resume about winning no championship. He don't know what it look like, what it smell like, what it is.
Hey, you hit on it. Before I get out of here, we know what it is when we hit the door. We understand that.
Go to work. You go to work. You go to work, and where you need to, from cleaning the offices up to the locker room to getting the equipment. Don't let me start talking.
Hey, my wife brought me a vacuum for my office, and that was the hall vacuum. You know what I'm saying? So everybody used that same vacuum to vacuum out their office.
And you think a guy that live in a mansion playing in front of 70,000 in the best facilities you can get gonna come to that and be like, hey, you mean tell me I got to clean my own office? Yeah. yeah, you do. And wipe it off and everything else. But guess what? On Saturday, them folk gonna show up and they want to see a championship product.
Appreciate it, man. And again, Friday, Mr. Campbell, he got the fries, he got the drinks. We're going to be there. Make sure y'all come support. Looking forward to it, man. And thank you guys again for real.
All right,
appreciate you, Fred.
Thank you, that Coach.
We got us a hot one right here, Rocky. This your boy.
Yeah, we got old trouble.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.